Good morning, guys. Today we are going to know how to write a research report. Please take down notes as much as you can now. And if you have any questions while I'm speaking, because I'll speak for a while, if you have any questions, write them down. And then after I finish, you can ask your questions. Okay, I don't want to see any messages on chat. So let me finish and then I'll let you ask all your questions. So first of all, this is going to be your last project for Q4 and the final project for actually the second term will be at around 50 marks for this research paper. So please focus with me, take notes as much as you can. And write down your questions and I'll answer them at the end. Okay, so the main, as you can see, we are going to know some steps in order to make sure you are writing a very good research paper. But before we know how to write a research paper, I have to know first what is a research paper. So let's get started. A research paper, it's kind of like what you usually do in your projects, searching for some kind of information from different sources, and then you come up with an outcome at the end or some findings. This is a research paper. So now we are going to know some steps. Again, a research paper is similar to a book report. Like I ask you to write, to read a book, and then at the end of this, after you've read the book, you give me a report about what you found from this book. What do you know about this book? Who is the writer? What are the main ideas discussed in this books? What do you think? How those ideas are delivered to the reader, like the figurative language used, the themes the writer used, the main topics or the main ideas, the thesis of the writer, if it has nothing to do with literature. The difference between a book report and a research report that you need to use multiple sources. You're not just getting your information from just one book or one article, you are checking more than one source to find information about a specific topic. So please take down notes and write down the steps to make it easier for you. Sometimes concerning the topic itself, in general, sometimes you will be able to choose your topic. And sometimes a topic will be given to you. Okay? So in this case, or in your case, actually, specific topics will be given to you, and then you will choose one of them and write a research paper on. Make sure that you thoroughly understand the assignment. This is your first step, guys. You will be sent a mail on the school's website with the instructions of the assignments. Take 30 minutes, read very carefully what you are asked for, how many pages, which font, how many words are asked from you. So this is your first step. When is it due? What am I expected to do? Those are all the instructions of your research paper or your assignment. Spend some time, and then if you have any questions later, then you can ask. But don't ask questions unless you read carefully the assignment. Okay? So this is your first step, is to read the instructions of the assignment. Then, of course, you have to, I said I don't want to hear any questions till I finish. So make sure, guys, choose an interesting topic. For example, you have 5 topics, you are given 5 topics. Choose the best one which you think it's very interesting, and you will find a lot of information about it, and you are into it. And then choose it, and then go ahead. Let's see how we will go ahead. So after choosing your topic, do something called brainstorming, like you are squeezing your brain and getting as much information, or what questions can I ask to get a lot of information about the topic which I'm searching for, and what are the ideas which I'm going to mention in my research paper. And those are kind of graphic organizers which will help you to organize the whole research paper before writing your outline, which we'll know later what is an outline. So a brainstorming, you can use the tree map, where you write the main idea and some branches coming from those main idea, from this main idea, the main thesis of your research, and write down as much as you can questions about what you are going to search for. For example, one of the topics I gave you is who is the write a research paper about the richest celebrities during the 21st or the 20th century. So maybe at the beginning you will write, or in the middle you will write the richest celebrities in the 21st century. You will speak about different celebrities, different fields, what are their accomplishments. Those are just some examples of the questions I might ask myself if I'm doing this research. How did they gain, or how did they gain this money or the profit? You can ask also how people were looking at those celebrities during that time, any challenges they faced, who are some examples of those, maybe 2 or 3 in different fields, how did they end up at the, how did they end up, those celebrities? Those are some questions if I'm going to write. So like to brainstorm, this is kind of brainstorming. I'm writing down as much questions as I can about this research I'm going to do. And this is the step which I'm talking about. But here, this is a very good thing. When probably most of you will get the information from the internet, and make sure that you read the pages assigned to you 2 days ago in your literature book. Read them carefully to know how I'm going to research, and of course it will make it easier for you, and you will end up with an amazing research if you followed the instructions in the book. For example, this is mentioned also in the book, that when you are searching, try to be more specific. Don't generalize. For example, this is an invasive species in Texas. This is a very general topic, and Google will give you thousands of results if you are just writing this. But if you are more specific, what is the effect of zebra mussels, which are kind of creatures living in the, or attacked one of the most famous lakes, one of the Great Lakes, Lake Texoma, and it disturbed the ecosystem in the lake and nature in general in Texas. So this is being more specific here. Okay. And of course, make sure identify first your sources. Your sources, of course, can include textbooks, the books you have, the school's books, other books which you can find on the internet. And by the way, now a lot of libraries open their, you don't need a subscription actually now because of this Corona situation. So they even give free membership for a specific 1 or 2 months. So you will find a lot of thousands of books and research and articles about the research you are looking for. And before I forget, also I'll show you some websites which you can search, which you can use for your research paper. of course, there is one of the most famous tools in Google. It's called Google Scholar. Okay, where you will find a lot of, you will find thousands of articles, thousands of research papers actually on this Google Scholar. I'm not sure why it's not opening, but anyway, there is another source, which is Encyclopedia Britannica. Also, you can find a lot of articles about what you are going to search for. We'll get back to them later. Maybe it's not working now, or something with the internet. So let's get back to the presentation. So most of you, I think, probably will use internet for the research, because now it's not possible anyway to go to any library. You can actually, if you have one of your family members is an expert in this field, you can ask them. They will definitely help you with more sources, which will help you in your research paper. And make sure, of course, if you are getting your information from the internet, that those websites are legitimate, which means they are reliable, they are not fake. And this is how to know this, probably by just checking the same information in different websites. Make sure your information which are written in your research paper are true. Okay, and also again in the book, in the pages which I mentioned 2 days ago, you will know how to find if the website is legitimate or it's fake. Okay, then of course, now you found your sources, now you made the brainstorming, now it's time for searching. Searching for the information, analyzing the information, and taking notes. Don't take notes, or actually, whenever you go to any website and you found, yes, this website I can depend on, so take notes immediately. You can copy the information and paste it in another Word document with the link for from where did I get this information, just to make sure that you will not get back or get lost and search, where did I find this information? I saw it before, and then spend and waste time on nothing. So try to be organized doing this research paper. Let's go quickly. What does it mean, analyze? Analyzing things. Analyzing papers or articles or books. So analyzing as a definition is to examine carefully whatever is in front of you, to look at it carefully, to try to observe what's this piece of information in front of you. Can you depend on it or not? Is it reliable or not? You can also, for example, you are searching for this example, which I said, the most famous or the richest celebrities during the 21st or the 20th centuries. What are their causes, the factors? How did they end up, the results, and so on. So observing is to identify and know details. Ask questions while you are reading this. From where did he get this? How? How is it possible during this period? From which background he came from, this person? So all the time while you are reading, try to observe, try to check details. And then you get your own hypothesis about this source. Think, which means think critically. What I'm searching for, is it really true? I think it doesn't make sense here. And why do you think the person who made this website, for example, this is to do with whether the website I'm having with me, oh, you don't accept late person? Oh my God. So So why this website here in front of me actually is mentioning information about maybe just kind of advertisement or maybe for some political reason. So make sure the website you are searching for is legitimate and reliable. Another thing, ask questions to lead to more observations and reflections. Like while you are reading, all the time ask who, what, when, the 5 W's, and the how. How did he get this? Why, when, where, what, who is this even? And all the time make sure consistently you are taking notes. Okay, and of course don't write each and every word. And after you finish taking, or while you're taking notes, actually rephrase it in your own words. Don't just copy and paste, because this is called plagiarism, which is totally prohibited. If you do this, we will not accept your project. So now we are going to a very, very important step, which is outlining. An outline, which you have to search, this is your task maybe for today after reading the assignment, the instructions of the assignments. The second thing you have to do is to check examples of outlines. An outline like the, when you read a book, not fictional book, you will find table of contents. What will be mentioned in this book. So the same is, the outline is actually the same like the table of contents. Why it's very important? Because of course, after writing the notes and after doing the brainstorming, you have to organize your ideas because you are not going to do the research paper in one day. So you have to make sure that all your ideas, which I'm going to mention in my research paper, they are outlined, they are written before, so I'm just searching for the information step by step. So I finished today, for example, what is a celebrity, for example, as a definition. So tomorrow I'm going to speak about celebrity, maybe the actors and actresses. Maybe the second main idea is we are going to speak about the background of one of them. So this is like kind of organization or table of contents of your research paper. You must have it because you will not finish in the same day, as I said, and it's the easiest thing. And if you did this, make sure, of course, 100% your research paper will be good. So make sure you have an outline for your research paper. And don't, of course, write full sentences, just small points, main points, and sub points. Check some examples on the internet how to do it. Just let me check with that. I said that I don't like questions while I'm speaking. Next time you ask, I'll kick you out. Make sure they help you to organize your ideas. One of the most important things, which we are going to speak in a few seconds about, that of course you got some information from somewhere. You have to give credit to this person or the source of your information. You cannot just say it's yours. This is kind of stealing. This is called plagiarism. So, for example, you got your information from Britannica, British Encyclopedia. So you have to mention your source, from which magazine or newspaper, from which book, from which website, and write them, and make sure you write down each time you find information. And yes, this information I can use in my research paper. So take the link as a copy and write it down. Make sure that you will not search for it again after finishing. which is, this is the second point, keep track of all sources from which you gather information. And at the end of your paper or the project, you will create works cited or reference pages from where you got those things. Plagiarism, very important, which is stealing from someone else and say, this work is mine. You do this, your project is not accepted or the paperwork will not be accepted. Doing copy and paste, of course, this is not accepted. You got some information. So according to so and so and so, or this magazine, they have said this, you write in your own words, one sentence, copied and paste, the project is not accepted. So make sure that you don't take from someone else. Plagiarism, actually, it's against law, like stealing from someone. If you do this in Egypt, a professor, for example, he said that I made a research about whatever. I am the first one to discover this. And then we find out that it was someone else, but in another country. What the university will do, it will expel or kick out this, or not kick him out. He will at least lose his degree, which is a very big thing. He suffered a lot to get this degree, and then he loses it because he was stealing. The same thing with students. A student who does this, he's expelled from school, whether college or, but you mainly in colleges. Maybe in schools, they are just learning. So if you do this, you get 0. So he will get the lesson, so he will not do it in college. If he continues to do it in college, he will be expelled from the college or university. Okay, at least they will fail their assignment. So make sure you don't do this. It's fun, it's not difficult, this this research paper. Just, we finished today, don't procrastinate. Just get started. We finished with you, so check the school's website, have they sent the assignment, what to do, and so on. So get started quickly, because I believe the due date is not that much. Introduction, which we forgot to speak about. Make sure, guys, that of course your ideas are. This is very, very important thing to do. Of course, after reading and researching, now it's time for writing your first draft. Maybe you'll spend 2 or 3 days doing the research and reading here and there. You might spend more time doing the research from where I got my main idea, what's my outline. So you finish this, the outline, you finish the brainstorming, you found your sources. Now it's time for writing. Just write your first draft. Don't just try to stop the temptation to correct. No, I don't like this paragraph. I will cancel it. No. Or delete it. No, don't do this. Try it. After you finish your first draft, then start editing and revising. But just please finish. One thing to do with the introduction, please leave it till the end. Because while you are searching and while you are writing, you find something new, different than what you are going even to speak about. So that's why leave the introduction. When you finalize your research paper, then you go ahead and write your introduction, which has to be very interesting to hook the reader, to attract his attention. So leave, please, the introduction till the end. And ask yourself such question, for example, does my beginning grab my reader's interest? Will they want to read more? And of course, it has to be ordered. Don't speak, for example, you are writing about, which another topic you will be given, the difference between Romanticism and New Classicism in literature and poetry in specific. So, for example, your first main idea is you are going to tell us about Romanticism. Then you go back to New Classicism, and then you go back to Romanticism. Why this This is, you are not organized here. So try to, as much as you can to make your ideas organized, related to each other. This one is depending on the previous one, and this one is depending on the previous one, and so on. Have I put my facts and ideas in order that makes sense? And make sure, of course, that your ideas are related. For example, you are speaking about Romanticism and New Classicism, and then you refer to postmodernism, the poetry of now. Why you are referring to this poetry now? This is not related. And then you speak a lot about this. No, you are, make sure you are focusing on one specific point or idea. Don't go here and there and come back. So order and relate. Make sure your ideas are ordered and related to the main thesis, the main topic. And at the end, give me your findings. So after this research, we can conclude that this and this and this and this and so on. And make sure after you finish this, go back and write your introduction, which usually most of the writers leave it till the end. Okay? After finishing your first draft, so you finished this, okay? What's time now? You are done or you are not done? We're going to edit, revise, grammatical mistakes, structure. Maybe this idea should be before this one. Maybe I can use another sentence, something like this. And then after you finish, show this research paper to one of your colleagues, to your parents. Find the second reader, not just you. Maybe he will give you some kind of advice, and then make a final edit after you finish. And by the way, something which I forgot to mention while doing your research, try to be specific. And this you will find, by the way, in the book, the pages I've mentioned in the book. Make sure that you read them carefully. It will help you how to specify what I'm searching for. Don't write a general idea, romanticism. Press enter. You will find thousands of books and poems and articles. No, try to be more specific, and try to be also, and make sure that as you don't write a very long sentence about the about what you are searching for. Google will not help you with this. So make sure you are very specific. Jot down what you are searching for exactly. Okay, and by the way, while you are writing all the time, and especially your final draft, which you are going to submit to your teacher, make sure that at the end, when you read it at the end, you'll see, yes, it's engaging. Yes, it's interesting for the reader, first of all, and I'm giving some information and even kind of educative. And don't use strange, difficult words. Make your language very simple so the reader will understand. And anyway, I'm sure you will not get to this point using strange words or terminologies. Okay, guys? So I want to show you now the websites which I recommend that you can get, you can use. So the first website, which is Google Scholar. It's a tool, actually, it's not a website. It's one of the tools. A lot of researchers, professors, teachers, students use this one to get research papers, okay? So just write in Google Scholar, and you will find this, and try, as I've mentioned, try to be very specific. This is the first thing. This is the first source. Another thing, of course, Britannica Encyclopedia. It's very, very interesting. You will find a lot of information in this one of the first encyclopedias in the world. And actually, it's for free, which is very good. Let me check if I forgot something. And as I mentioned, the first thing you must do is to read the instructions of the assignment. Make sure, like, take like 30 minutes reading carefully. What does this assignment want? Well, how many pages? When is my due date? This is, as you can see here, this is Encyclopedia Britannica. Okay, it's very interesting. And I recommend that you use it. We have nothing to do now, so you can each now and then read an article from this encyclopedia. What else I've missed? Yes, as I mentioned, just get started. So whenever you receive the mails about how to, or the project, or the research paper, go ahead and get started. Don't waste time. Don't say, I'm going to do it tomorrow. No, the due date, I think it's just for 10 days. So make sure that you use each and every minute of those 10 days. Okay. And I mentioned before, don't start with writing the introduction, and never forget the references at the end. And of course, while you are writing, or the main purpose of this research, it has to be in your mind. What is the purpose of my research paper? What is this study done for? What? So now it's time for questions. If you have any questions, I finished now. And anyway, I recorded this session. So you will find it on the school's channel. Okay, now I will listen to your question. So if you have a question, raise your hand. So Zaina, let's hear Zaina.
Mr. You said we read 30 minutes carefully. You're saying about the 30 pages that you gave us in the homework اللي هم in the book, or the email that the website sent us?
No, the instructions of the assignment, the instructions of the research paper, what I'm asked for, how many pages, what font I should use, how can I deliver the project, what is the due date. And the pages, I think it will take the pages which I put from the literature book, it will take more than 30 minutes. It might take like 1 hour, 30 minutes, maybe 2 hours if you are a slow reader. And don't hurry up, like read carefully, because it will help you anyway, in general, throughout the school and later in university. Yes, any other questions?
Okay, one more question. Will you give us choices about the topic, or you already gave us a topic that we write about?
I gave 5 topics to the school. I'm not sure they will choose for you, or you can choose between them. But anyway, if you will choose between 5 topics. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Adham?
Mister.
Yes.
Can you share to us all of this
I already wrote them. You can take notes while we are while I was speaking. Any other questions?
Yeah, I know you told, but the PowerPoint, I mean, that you was just playing now.
You can search on the internet.
Can you share it?
Yes. Any other questions?
And Mister, I have one more question.
Yes.
Will we have exams?
Probably not. Yes, Ahmed, what's your question?
I have a question. What is the English project? You can explain me.
I just, this is what I was explaining during the whole lesson.
Mister?
Yes, Ahmed, this is what I
Mister?
was. Can you hear me, Ahmed, or not?
Mister?
Yes, Karim.
Mister?
Yes, Karim, any questions?
Yes, yeah, Mr. Wong. So my question is similar to Zena's, but please explain to me. So the due date is going to be when?
I said they will mention the instructions, so check the instructions. I don't know when.